Girl, I thought I exposed y'all. I thought I'd been exposed. It's strength in finding resilience beyond your circumstances. What is up, you guys? I'm Zakia Monet, and welcome to the Finding Your Way podcast, where we share stories about hardships and share ways to not let our circumstances define us. Like you, we're just here to find our way. Welcome to another episode of Finding Her Way. My name is Zakia. I'm your host. I go by Zakia Monet on all social media platforms. So welcome to episode 22. We are 22 episodes in. As you know, we always do a journal entry. Today's journal entry will be, what is the hardest part about letting go of a friendship? Well, is it the time? Is it the years? Is it because this is the only person that you know? Is this because this is the person that has been with you through your traumatic experiences in life? Anything of that sort. What is the hardest part about letting go of a friendship? That is the journal entry for today. As you can tell by the journal entry, we'll be talking about when is the right time to let go of friendships. We're not talking about relationships this time. Y'all sick of me talking about relationships. So we're going to give that a break. We'll give that a break. I'm still looking. Sorry. But today we're going to talk about friendships because I feel like friendships are so important. They're so necessary. But you also go through a lot of within friendships. Like, you really do go through a lot of stuff with friendships. I feel like I've had my share of heartache with friendships, my fair share of disappointment within friendships. I feel like I just want to talk about that today because I've been evaluating my life. I've been evaluating the different roles that people play in my life, the different parts, the different sections that I've been through, the different chapters that I've been in, the different seasons that I've been in, and I've taken account and taken attendance of who has been there, who has not, who has shown up for me in a way that I would like them to show, that I have shown up for them. Like reciprocal, how you say that word? Reciprocity, is that the word? Reciprocity is so important. I hope that's the word. Don't cloud me if that's not the word, because I feel like that's the word. I think it's reciprocity. Y'all know what I'm saying. So I feel like that is like one of the most important things for me when it comes to a friendship. I feel like the first thing that you need to do before even either seeking a friendship or doing inventory in relationships is checking yourself to see what you provide, who you are, what season you are in. Like, check inventory in yourself. And then I feel like once you are able to check inventory within yourself, you're able to check inventory of the people who are surrounded around you. You're able to pinpoint and realize what you like and what you don't like, and what you want and what you need out of a relationship, period. Whether if it's a friendship or a relationship with a family member. I feel like that is very important because how can you, like, I say this all the time, but how can you know what you want or expect out of someone if you don't know who you are and what can you bring to the table? I feel like that is so important. If you can't bring what you're asking for to the table, how can you expect them to give you what you can't give, if that makes sense? So I feel like that is very important to check inventory within yourself. I feel like I'm in that area, I'm in that season, I'm in that space of doing that. When I first got with my therapist, the first thing that we talked about was boundaries. And then within those boundaries, she asked me to write down a lot of people, the people who are in my life, and what were my boundaries within those relationships. So that was a very important, that was a very important exercise, I feel like. And I feel like that could help, someone out there who needs to do this same thing as well, because I feel like it's like I'm in the season of just wanting more, wanting to be at peace, wanting to be happy, and not accepting anything less than what I give. So if I'm giving you grade A quality, if I'm giving you top-notch friendship, top-notch relationship, I'm giving you, like, I'm giving you 100% of me, the genuineness, the love, everything that I expect that in return. So I think I'm in the season of taking inventory of who's giving that to me, who's pouring into me. And then while I'm also doing that, it's also allowing me to take a look back at what I have been through within relationships. I feel like friendships are so, growing up as a child, like friendships are so, they're like, when you look, like as a child, you don't think about the complexity of a friendship. You just think about, if you're a child like me who has, you know, dealt with abandonment at home and went through certain things or experienced certain things, then you're going to, you know, try to gravitate towards something, or try to look for something in somebody outside of your home. So that's kind of what I was doing. I was trying to look for something that I was missing at home. So that's kind of why I gravitated towards any and everybody. It may have not been a good friend, it may have not been a good person, but I gravitated towards them, and it may have been a good situation at the moment, but then, you know, as time went on, it was just crazy. Like, you'll start to notice that people will be one way towards you, and like when it's just y'all two, and act a certain way when a certain group of people come around, and that's just the weirdness that just goes on, like as you are a child and as you're growing and as you're, you know, trying to figure out life and trying to navigate through life as a kid. So that's kind of just like, I just been taking inventory of that, like looking at the past of what I have accepted out of a friendship, whether it was like the bare minimum, whether it was just a conversation, whether it was just like us going out to the movies, or, you know, something like that, what I've taken out of it. So I think I've taken out of those relationships that I was looking for something that just wasn't there in those people. I was looking for an outside scapegoat. I was looking for, you know, like I was just looking for something in somebody, you know, that like I said, that I wasn't getting at home. So that's very easy to do. It's very easy to do. I know it's like crazy, but it's very easy to do, to try to look for something that's not at home. This goes on a lot in relationships. We don't really talk about that in friendships. Like, it's a lot of things that we don't really talk about in friendships that are kind of like similar to relationships. I feel like I treat my friendships like they're relationships. Like I don't know. I feel like even though like we're not in, like, it's not a relationship, I still treat it as such, because I feel like just like a relationship, you expect a certain, you have a certain criteria out of your friendships. Like, I don't care what nobody say, like, you should not accept the bare minimum. If you are continually pouring into somebody, if you're continually showing up and doing all these things, I feel like you should expect the same thing in return. Because I feel like you're constantly pouring, and then soon enough, you're going to be pouring from an empty cup. So how can you continue to pour? How can you even do anything for yourself if you're pouring into somebody who's not even pouring into you? And that's what I was doing for a lot of my time. A lot of my friendships, I was pouring into empty cups. Like, I wasn't getting I wasn't getting what I was putting in. Some of them, like, they were top notch. You just lose contact, and, you know, everybody go their separate ways. Everybody has kids. Everybody making it, like, doing their own thing and having their own families, and that's the thing too. But for me, as I was like, while I'm navigating these different relationships, as I'm getting older and getting into a relationship, my first serious real relationship, he's pulling me away from my friendships. So that's putting a blockage into my friendships as well. I feel like that's why a lot of the time, I feel like honestly, that's part of the reason why I don't really have a big friend group, because that relationship tarnished, or that relationship put a lot of, it left a bad taste in people's mouth about me. That relationship did a lot of bad. It was just, I don't know. Like, he didn't want me hanging around nobody. If I was cool with somebody, he would get into it with them. He would just make it a whole thing, and it was just embarrassing. It was just like, it was just too much. So I feel like that's part of the reason why I don't have a big friend group. And another reason too is just like, I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like I just go through this thing where I only have one solid friend. It's just so every period and stage of my life, I've always had at least one solid friend, and that's honestly all you need. For real, you really don't need a big group, but it's nice to have like a group of friends to go to for different things. You know, I feel like I want that now in this age, not because like I'm just looking for friends, or like, not because I'm desperate for friends, is what I mean. But I feel like it's so important to have a variety of friendships, people that you go to for different things, people that you do different things with, because you're not going to go to the club with a friend who's want to be in the house and who has a whole family and all this other stuff, who's married and all this, like, you know, you're not going to want to do that. You're going to have a party friend, you're going to have a go out friend. I'm not a club girl anymore, but like, that's just an example. So like, I feel like it's very important to diversify your friendship and have different friend groups. I have been through a season, I have also been through a season of having friends and still feeling like I was by myself. And in those moments, I feel like that was God trying to pull me closer to Him, because it was just like I was going to them before I was going to Him. So it was just like I made them my Bible, I made them my idol, I made them like the go-to instead of going to Him first. I feel like he snatched a lot of people away from me and a lot of things away from me just because He wanted me to be closer to Him. I don't like, I'm not complaining at all, but in the beginning it was just like, why am I feeling like, why are these people disappearing? Like, why, like, you know, like, why does it feel like it's just me out here? Honestly, it wasn't just me. It was God trying to get my attention and God trying to pull me closer to Him. So I needed to take a second, I needed to take a beat, and I needed to be like with Him just one-on-one. I needed to have that season of me and Him just one-on-one. I'm still in that season. It's probably been, I think it's been a few years, maybe more of me just being me and Him. So it's just like, of course I have, you know, my best friend, but it's just been a season. It's honestly just been a season of me and Him. And so I feel like the older I get, the more He's giving me the tools to pour into me and to show me different things, to let me know, like, when I put you back outside, don't start going to them before you come to me. You remember what I taught you. Remember what I showed you. Remember what I'm pouring into you. Remember who was the source, who was the ultimate source. Who am I? What have I brought you through? You know, like, I feel like that's what it's going to be. So I'm not rushing it. I'm patiently waiting. But I feel like before I even dive into like finding a whole new section of friends or in going out there and networking, I need to figure out like where I'm at now, the season I'm in now. So I feel like, you know, it's important for me to know and understand when to let people go, when to, you know, like, before I even open that door to, you know, new relationships and new friendships. I feel like I'm at a point where I know what I don't want to tolerate anymore, and I know what's not for me, and I know what's detrimental to my mental, what is like gonna push, like what is gonna cause me to send myself into overdrive when it comes to different friendships and relationships, because I've always been a girl that has just wanted their own person, who has wanted their own people. I didn't really care for my friends having other friends. Like, it's just us. Like, that's just always how I've been. But the older I get, I gotta understand that my friend is gonna have other friends. And so I figured, so I'm understanding that I have a lot of work to do within myself, and I have a lot of, it goes back to those abandonment issues, man. Like, that abandonment is a like, that abandonment is something, because like, it trickles down into almost every aspect of my life, and it has been, and it's been like, it's been the hardest thing to deal with ever. It's been the hardest thing to deal with ever, but the more I'm navigating, the more I'm opening my eyes, the more I'm realizing certain things about myself, the more I get to learn myself, I realize how big of a part that abandonment plays in my life. And I feel like I go through that so much within different relationships of my life. So it's just, I'm in a weird time. Like, I'm in a space where I don't really care to be around family. I don't really care to have those relationships with family, because it's just like, we've had, like, I've been through stuff with them in the past. I was able to, you know, mend fences, apologize for my part. I don't know if I apologized, but it was just a conversation of me reaching out, because like, they were on my mind, and I was talking to my therapist about it, and she was just like, you know, maybe that's a sign of, you know, like, you need to reach out. Maybe maybe it's time to have a conversation. Let them know, like, you know, you're ready to move on. You're over it. You're not harboring any bad feelings. You're not necessarily open to rekindling any relationship with them, but just letting them know that you're not thinking about, there's no ill will. I still love you. It's just, you know, that's just what it is. And so I feel like once I sent that message out, I feel like I kind of opened the door for them to feel like it's like okay for us to still interact, still, you know, do those things, and I'm just not there yet, and I'm not comfortable with that yet, and that's okay, because like I still have work to do on myself. I'm not all the way healed. I'm not all the way okay. I feel like I do a good job of going through things and just pushing it under the rug, and that's not a good thing to be proud about. It's not a flex. That's not nothing to be, you know, bragging on, but it's just like how I've always been. I've always been the person who has went through things and then just swept them under the rug. Like I just always been that person, but I don't know. It's just that's just the person that I've been. That's just the person that I am. So it's just like just knowing like what's for me, what's not for me, what's healthy for me, what's going to not trigger me, what's going to not put me in a place of overdrive. And I'm also learning to accept the fact of like, you know, like I said earlier, like it's okay to diversify your friendships. It's okay for your friends to have other friends. Like they're not going to always be, you know, like it's just not gonna always be a constant sometimes, and that's okay. And that's what I'm learning. Like that's what I'm learning. That's why I feel like that's why I feel like it's important for me to diversify my friendships, so it's not just me pouring into one person, so it's not just like too much on so it's not just too much on one person to take in what I'm going through or what I got to talk about and what I'm dealing with. So like that's why that is important to me, but I also understand the importance of knowing what I want out of a relationship with a friend. And like even with friendship breakups, like those are like real breakups. Like those hurt. Like have you been through a friendship breakup? Have you ever been through a friendship like those probably hurt worse than the relationships for real. Like if we being honest, like those are like you're grieving a relationship. Like those are like serious. I know like it might be over dramatic, but that's like grieving somebody that you lost. Like that's how serious it is. And I feel like, especially for me, I don't know about y'all, but for me, I take my friendship seriously. I take the loyalty seriously. I take the genuineness seriously. I take everything about it serious. So it's just like to lose a friend, like no matter how you lost them, whatever, even if it's for you protecting yourself, like that is a grief. Like that is a grief. You have to grieve that relationship, and that's probably the hardest thing. You're gonna wake up crying. I don't know if you're gonna be okay for a year, for a month, 2 months, a year. Like you don't know, but it's just something that has to be done. But it still hurts. It doesn't take away the pain of it. It doesn't take away the memories of it. It's just like, I don't know, that's a thing. And that's another thing that I'm focusing on before I, you know, open my life to more friendships. That's the part I'm just not, I don't know if I'm ready for yet. Like, what if it doesn't work out? What if we grow a bond and it doesn't work out? Like, I've been through a situation where me and a close friend have like, it was in the best interest of me to not, you know, to distance myself and sever ties. That was hurtful for me because we did a lot of stuff together. Like those was memories. That was a bond. So for it to turn sour, it was just like, it was a step in the face, and it turned like, it was just, I lost friends for a different number of reasons. Like one relationship was because the girl was talking about me. Another thing was because like we were both going through like it's just a lot. It's just a lot. Even with like it's just a lot. It's just a lot. But I feel like I just feel like I just feel like I'm just open to it. I'm open to the idea of more friendships. I'm open to it because I feel like for me, in the direction that I'm trying to take my life, in the direction that I'm trying to take, finding her way, it's important for me to get out there and network and form relationships and make relationships with different people, so I can, just, so I'm not just talking to talk, so I can talk to people with experience, if that makes sense. So I don't know, it's just, I'm just trying to do things different this time. I'm trying to, you know, like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, this is also something that you need to pray for and pray over, whether you don't know or you're conflicted of, you know, whether this to distance, whether you're not certain or don't know if you need to distance yourself from a friendship, or whether you are not certain if it's time for you to make new friends or meet new people. It's all something that you need to pray over, because you need to pray over who's the right person. Like, you need to pray, you know, over the qualities that you want within a friendship. Those are the things that you need to pray over. And you also need to pray if on this end, if it's a relationship, if it's a relationship that you feel like you have to sever and that you have to split ways with, you have to pray if this is just a season, or for God to give you grace within this time of the breakup. Because like I said, like that, dealing with a breakup within a relationship is hard. So for some people it's not. They just like, it is what it is. I did my part. That's it. That is what it is. Like, I don't have nothing to be mad about. I was loyal. That you weren't. So it's your loss. Some people are like that. And I get it. I understand it. I wish I was like that. I honestly wish I was able to get over people just like that. I honestly, like, no matter what the relationship is, like, I honestly wish I was able to do that. But unfortunately, I wasn't built like that. So it's just harder for me to let things go and let people go. So, I don't know. It's just a lot. Like I said, I just know that pointing to one person can be a lot. I feel like I can be a lot. And, you know, also within that, don't let people gaslight you into thinking that you are a lot. I know I just said, like, pointing to one person can be a lot and, like, all of this stuff. But some people will gaslight you and make you feel like you are always the problem, or you are always the one that's going on, especially if you are a person who has experienced trauma. But, okay, I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna put it like, I don't know what to say. I'm trying not to say it in a way that's not like, don't let people make you feel like you are too much. Do not let people make you feel like you are too much. I know sometimes, like, it can be a lot dealing with somebody that has trauma, but we all got shit that we go through. We all got shit going on. That's why it's a friendship. It's like, it's supposed to be an equal relationship. Like, you telling me, you talking to me and venting to me, and I'm talking to you and venting to you. No, it's not fair for you to always put your shit on that person, for you to always, you know, like, I don't know, like, I just feel like it's so important for you to have a relationship with God. And if you don't believe in that, then at least journal. So it's not like you always got something going on and you always got to tell your friend what's going on. Because sometimes, like, I feel like it's okay to not tell your friend every little thing that goes on, or every little inconvenience. It's cool, like, if y'all have the relationship and y'all are able to, you know, figure that out and able to, you know, deal with that. But if you have a friend that's not tolerant of, like, you know, the shit that you go through and all this other stuff, get a journal, and then talk to God if you believe in God. That's what I advise you to do. It's not fair to put all your stuff. It's not fair to put all your stuff on one person, but I also feel like we all go through stuff. So that's just that. So don't let nobody make you feel like you are too much. Don't let nobody feel like you're gaslight. Don't let nobody gaslight you into making you feel like you are too much because of what you've been through. If you've been through it, if you are a person that has been through a lot, like I said, it's in your best interest to journal, talk to God, and go to therapy. Like, that is in your best interest versus pouring into a person. Sometimes people don't have the mental capacity to take in all that you're going through because they're trying to deal with their own stuff as well. But I say that to also say, don't let nobody gaslight you and make you feel like you are too much. Ever. Because people will make you feel like you are the problem, that you are the emotional one, that you are always putting your shit on them, that you are making their life miserable, that you are bringing this dark cloud. And that may be the case for some people, but it's not for everybody. I know I was made to feel, I know sometimes like I was made to feel like I was too much. Not even in just friendships, like in my relationships with my family. Like I was made to feel like I was too much. I've always felt like I was the black sheep because I always just felt different. Like I always felt like I was different from everybody. I always felt like I wanted different from everybody. I always felt like I always felt like my mindset was just different. So that was just like, that was just from the get. I was always different. But don't let nobody make you feel like you too much. Ever. I just need to say that because like that's a very important thing. Like don't let nobody make you feel like you're too much. That's a cause to let a friend go. Honestly, like that is really a cause to let a friend go. Like I ain't playing. Like I said, it's not fair to put all your stuff onto them. Especially if you both have been through like traumatic experiences in life. They can't handle all that you're going through. They can't handle your stuff and their stuff. But if y'all are having an open dialogue, oh excuse me. But if y'all are having an open dialogue, I feel like can y'all see me? Because I feel like I didn't take out car. I got a new space. It's fake. So what? I got a little something in my face now. But yeah, especially like I said, especially if like y'all are two people who have been through traumatic experiences in their life, like they're not going to be able to handle, they are not going to be able to have the capacity to handle your stuff and their stuff. That's why this is so important for both of y'all to be on your own journey of healing, and then getting in the middle with your wins of the week. That's what I suggest. Both of y'all get in the middle with y'all wins of the week and pointing out the wins. You can talk about if you can. I learned in therapy, right? If you are going through a situation like that, ask your friend if you okay. I need to slow down. So I learned in therapy that if you are in a situation where you and a friend have both been through traumatic experiences and your friend doesn't have the mental capacity to handle your stuff and their stuff, and you feel like it could be an overload, or they feel like you're doing too much, or they feel like you're too much for them, ask your friend if they have the mental capacity to tell, how did she say it? Ask your friend if they have the mental capacity to hear what's been going on with you. Whether you can do that with any relationship, not even just somebody who has been through traumatic experiences. You can do that with any relationship. Ask your friend if they have the mental capacity to hear whatever you have been going through, or whatever I said. Ask them that. Ask them. Shit, I got excited. Just ask them. But yeah, like I just that was a good thing. That was a good little nugget that she gave me. That was a good little nugget that she gave me, along with the different people in your life and the boundary exercise that I talked about with writing the different names of the different people that's in your life and writing the boundaries that you want to set with each one of them. And you can also, while you're doing that, you can also write after the character. You can also write down the characteristics of the friendships that you want, or what you want out of a friendship or relationship, period. You can also take time to do that, and then write that. You can either take those names and do the same thing, or you can just write a whole list of what you want or the qualities that you would like in a relationship or a friendship. That's a good little tool to do. So I feel like I done gave y'all a lot to talk about. I've been kind of getting excited with this episode, because this is like very much needed. This is so last minute. I'm actually recording on the day of that I'm supposed to be dropping this episode. So I gotta go ahead and get this edited and get this pushed out. So that is going to be all for this video. I hope you guys liked it. Like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Let's have a comment. Let's have a discussion, open discussion in the comments, because I thought I exposed y'all. I thought I'd been exposed. I thought I exposed y'all. So yeah, this is actually also, I'm proud of myself. This is the last day of my 3-day fast. I did a 3-day fast. It's the last day. I've been doing good, and I'm so proud of myself. Oh, y'all can also do fast over your friendships as well. If you're looking for new friendships, or if you want God to give you direction on what to do within your friendships, you can also do that within as well. Friendships or relationships. I'm getting too excited, so I need to calm down. So I'm gonna end this episode. Like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe with a friend, let's chit chat in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. I hope you enjoyed and took at least one thing, if any, from this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share us with a friend you know. Follow us on Instagram at findingherwaypod, and send us letters or questions to askfhw@gmail.com. We hope to hear from you in the next episode.